We have a new president now. Donald Trump has been in office for about a year. Clearly, he is putting America first. Clearly, it is a fact that he is not apologizing for America, as we saw the last president do for almost 8 years. I'm curious, your time in the military for so long, what are your men and women that you worked with and served with that are still in the military saying about the shift in attitude amongst our members of our military?
Well, definitely thank you for the opportunity to answer that question. Now that I am out of the military, I can say it without, an Article 15, which is great.
It is.
I'm still in Savannah, Georgia. I was stationed at Hunter Army Airfield with the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Our mission was very clear. We support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I work with some of the greatest soldiers in the world. Your Rangers, your SF, your Delta, SEAL Team 6, all those guys are my customers. And I'll tell you that I've served underneath Bush, I've served underneath Obama, and I've had the pleasure to serve underneath Trump as well. And social politics aside, I'm not going to comment on some of his social policies, but from the military side, putting the right military leadership in charge of making decisions and not hamstringing those decisions based on a political agenda is something that I know that my community, and I have friends that I speak with on a regular basis that are right down the street, we really appreciate that. It allows us to do our job, which is what, I spent 4 years at West Point. I spent, 2 years at flight school, and then I spent the next, 8+ years serving the country, and all I wanted to do was just that. And a lot of times I was hamstrung based on a political agenda.
Yeah. Certainly, Barack Obama tried to turn the military into his social experiment. And clearly, I don't think that played well for the military. But the other aspect of the Barack Obama presidency, which I think in many respects the Trump administration is still being forced to clean up, is the military was neglected, and I think equipment was neglected. I've heard horror stories about trying to keep equipment running, from Humvees to helicopters. And can you talk about that? And did you see an immediate change once President Trump took office?
I was definitely in the more fortunate side. The special operations community is very well funded, very well equipped, but I do have a lot of friends in the conventional side, and that is the case. It was the case, and it's definitely improved. One of the biggest travesties, in my opinion, was the gutting of our senior, most talented mid-level, senior to mid-level leadership. Your senior captains, your majors, these individuals, myself included, who've spent 10+ years in nothing but combat, only to have these force reductions arbitrary in nature, because things have not truly slowed down, to get rid of the majority of your intellectual capital, your talent, the people who know how to go and win and fight these wars on the ground. And that was one of the biggest travesties, because that's the hardest to build back up, is your personnel.